Finally, after months of waiting, I've got my hands on a new Honda Civic. Why am I so excited? Because I've been a Civic owner for the last 4 years, and I'm really keen to see how my old Civic compares to the new one. This is Four Wheels in the Seat. My name is Alex Dalrymple, and every week I review a brand new car. To make sure you don't miss one, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like if you like what you see as well. Death, taxes, and the Honda Civic. They're three of life's certainties. Honda have sold over 27 million Civics over the last 51 years. That's 11 generations. My 10th generation car copped a bit of criticism for its over-the-top styling, and as a result, Honda have pared back the styling a bit in this latest generation, which I think actually looks a little bit boring and tame by comparison. Up the front, it's passably similar to the previous car. The grille has been thinned out a little bit, and we've now got these hexagonal shapes in the middle there that actually look pretty good. The lights have been lengthened a little and have a new LED design, and the bonnet pushed back a little bit further into the car, but I don't know, I just don't think it's quite as eye-catching as it was before. This car is a hatchback. The sedan version of the Civic is not available in Australia, but its coupe shape does give it a similar appearance to the previous generation sedan, although the angles aren't quite as extreme and the creases in the sheet metal have been softened a little. One thing I really do like about this car though is the 18-inch alloy wheels done in black. They look fantastic. It's a really nice design, and with those Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres on them, you get a mountain of grip. The back of the Civic though is where Honda are really playing it safe. Gone are the cool looking crab claw LEDs, replaced with far more conservative looking light clusters. Nothing to write home about really. We've got dual exhausts down the bottom, and underneath the boot lid we've got an enormous storage space, 449 litres, including a bit of underfloor space as there is no spare tyre. You get a tyre repair kit. Subwoofer back here as well. Knock down the rear seats, you get an extra 750 litres of space. The engine in the new Civic is much the same as it was before. So we've got a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo that outputs just a little bit more power, now up to 131 kilowatts and 240 newton meters of torque. Power is driven to the front wheels only via a constantly variable transmission. And fuel economy has been improved a tiny bit too, now down to 6.3 litres per 100 kilometres. It's inside where you'll see the biggest changes to the Honda Civic. This interior is all new and it's fantastic, with soft touch materials up on top. We've got this cool strip of honeycomb mesh here covering the air vents with cool toggles to change the air direction, a strip of piano black. Everything just looks really nice. It has a sort of Mazda vibe to it, which is by no means a criticism because that's a really good looking car. It's just that if I said Toyota, well, that would be rude. Up on top here, we've got an all-new center console screen that's 9 inches. It's up on top of the dash rather than being built into it. I prefer it built in, but anyway, it runs brand new software, which is an infinite improvement over the old version. So gone are the endless text-based menus, and they've been replaced with some good-looking icons. It's really easy to use. We've got native navigation, digital radio, and wireless Apple CarPlay, although I'm sorry, Android users, you will still need a USB cable. The audio system is a Bose unit. It has 12 speakers with a subwoofer in the boot, and it sounds awesome. Climate controls have been taken out of the center console screen and given their own row of controls down here in the middle of the console. Much easier to use that way. Underneath that, we've got 2 USB-A ports, a 12-volt outlet, wireless charging for your phone with some nice little grooves there to keep your phone in place so it won't roll around off the charging pad, and an on-off function if you, for whatever reason, decide you don't want to charge your phone but you want to leave it there. The lower console I'm not really quite so keen on. There's a bit of movement here when you push against it. The cup holders are a good size. This gear shifter has been ported over directly from the previous Civic, which, you know, it's fine. I would have liked to have seen something new. It's got red stitching on it, which is nice. We've got drive mode controls here now because this car now has 3 drive modes. The auto on-off for the engine stop-start when you're stuck in traffic, park brake hold, and electronic park brake. Good sized center console bin with a removable tray and more soft leather here on the armrest. The instrument cluster is another place where Honda have made some puzzling design decisions. Instead of giving us a fully digital instrument cluster like most Korean car makers are now doing, they've stuck with an analog hybrid digital unit, which is what my old Civic has, but in that car they actually made the analog dials look like LEDs with some clever design, but here they've given us a big old analog speedo, which to be honest you don't really look at anyway because you've got the digital display right in front of you. And then this screen to the left-hand side with a digital tachometer, which you can run through a few different display modes on, but you know, most of it's just really trip computer type information. I don't know why they didn't go all out and give us a proper digital display. I am a bit disappointed in that. The steering wheel is an all new design, but it does feel quite similar to the old car's wheel. We've got red stitching on it, and there's now adaptive cruise controls here on the right hand side, plus paddle shifters on the back if you want to, I was going to say change gears, but there are no gears because this is a CVT, but you can play around with those anyway. There's also height and reach adjustment too. Visibility is really good out the front, even though we're sitting very low in the cabin, which I love about this car because it gives it a really good sporty feel. That doesn't compromise on visibility, so you can see pretty much right to the front of the bonnet, and good visibility all around through the glass house here. Plenty of headroom too, and a very comfortable driving position. These seats are electronically adjustable, and there is no lumbar support unfortunately, which does make it a little bit uncomfortable on longer trips. I haven't actually checked the passenger seat yet. Yes, there's electric adjustment for the front passenger as well. The back seat of the sedan Civic, or at least my one, is actually really good for rear seat passengers. There's a stack of room. Here it's a little bit more limited. So I'm 190 centimeters tall and I'm behind my own seating position, and my knees are into the seat in front of me, but it's a soft back, so it's not too bad for a short trip, it'd be all right. There is no tow room though, and headroom is very limited, although it is in my car too. It's because of the coupe shape. It's also quite dark back here with the dark headliner and no sunroof. It's a little bit gloomy. And there's no USBs back here. That is unheard of in this day and age for there to be no USBs in the back of a car. So if you're on a road trip with kids, good luck. There's an armrest here that just sort of flops down. The one in my car does that too. And we've got two different size cup holders here. Well, Honda fans will be pleased to know that the new Civic drives just like the last one, which is to say, it drives really, really well. It is probably one of the best driving small cars on the road. One thing this car does have that mine doesn't is the automatic stop-start for the engine when you pull up at red lights. And I just noticed when I turned it off then, because it's one of those features that kind of annoys me a little bit, it is a bit rough when it's starting. You do get a bit of a jolt through the cabin as the engine restarts. If there's one feature I really am missing, and that is the blind spot camera on the left-hand wing mirror. It would display the image on the center console screen whenever you turn the left indicator on, and you'd be able to see what's in your blind spot really clearly. That's been deleted from this car, and it's a real shame, and you really do miss not having it there. Another feature that I'm keen to try out in this car is the adaptive cruise control, which my Honda doesn't have. So let's see how easy it is to turn on. That was actually very easy. Just one button push and a little slide up on the rocker switch here to set the speed, and we're underway. Keeping a good distance from the car in front, easy to use. The new Civic picks up 3 drive modes, up from the 2 in my car. So here we've got normal, eco and sport. Sport mode hangs on to the fake gears for a bit longer. I'd say fake gears because there are no gears, it's a CVT, but that just really allows the engine to rev a lot more and make a bit more noise without really substantially changing the performance. Eco obviously makes it a little more tame, and normal is, well, the place you're probably going to be spending most of the time. It's pretty good. You don't really see a lot of the new Civics on the road. They've been on the market now for about a year, and in the week or so I've had this car, I'm not actually conscious of having seen any, to be honest. Whereas in this 10-minute drive this morning, I've seen 4 older model Civics. And that's apparently quite a deliberate strategy on Honda's part. They're trying to make this car a bit more exclusive, a little more premium, and they are expecting only to sell about 10% as many cars as what they were. I'm not entirely sure what the strategy is there. They are charging a lot more for this car, but I don't think that's going to cover the shortfall. This car picks up a raft of safety features that weren't available in the RS model, which is my one, and you can see some of those up on the screen here, and it really is all up a much better package. I'm not sure if that entirely justifies its massively inflated price, but it is good to know that the equipment is there. These features though are pretty typical in other cars in this class, like the Mazda 3 for example, and the price isn't quite so steep. It's funny, the engine noise is identical to my car. Close your eyes, not that I should really be doing that while I'm driving, but I could be in my car now just listening to that engine note. The engine is a little bit more powerful here, but it's almost imperceptible. It's only really sort of about 10 Newton meters of torque and a few kilowatts. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. The suspension does feel just a little bit softer in this car. It's not quite as harsh or rough around the edges as the previous model. It just seems to glide over things like speed humps just a little more smoothly. On the face of it, the new Honda Civic is a really good car. It looks pretty good, it drives really well, but its price is just incomprehensible. $47,200. And you don't get parking sensors, a sunroof, or lumbar support, to name but a few things that are missing from this car. The new hybrid version does go some way to fixing some of those problems, but you do have to pay an extra $7,000 for it. And with Honda's fixed price sales model, there's no room for negotiation. The price is the price. As a Honda Civic fan, it does sadden me a little that I can't recommend this car as the best small Japanese car you can buy when a top-spec Mazda 3 sells for about the same money, comes with a lot more gear, and also has a far more efficient hybrid powertrain. So if you're thinking about a premium-feeling small Japanese car, I'd have to say the Mazda 3 is a better buy.